Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsey. Today I'm excited to share with you my first alternative card using the March 2023 paper pumpkin kit called 10 Years of Growth. This beautiful kit creates 9 handmade cards, perfect for many occasions. These are the intended cards that you can make with the kit. There are enough supplies to make 3 of each card. If you would like to watch me unbox this kit and create these cards, you can click on the playlist in the top right corner and watch my unboxing video. Each month, I take the contents from the paper pumpkin kits and make alternative projects. Today, I am going to be sharing with you how to create this simple variation to the intended card by adding a little color to the window frame. And this makes the die cut images and greeting pop. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel using the link in the bottom right corner so that you can get updates when I post a new video. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you are interested in getting your own paper pumpkin subscription, please use the link below in the description to subscribe. To begin creating this card, you're going to start with the window card base, and I'm going to go ahead and fold this, and I'm going to cut from both the front and the back from the sides. And so I'm going to cut, that's 3/8 of an inch on both sides. I'm going to start on the open edge. So just measure 3/8 of an inch on the right side and cut, and push down hard so that you can cut through both pieces of paper. And then rotate and line up that scored line at 3/8 of an inch as well. Perfect. And what this is going to give you are 2 pieces that are the exact same size. And we're going to use the back side for the inside greeting on our card. So the next thing I need to cut is a little strip from the Happy Gold foil. This is the leftover piece after you've removed your happy die cuts. And I'm going to use it at the bottom of my greeting. So just choose a section to cut, and I want to cut a piece that's about 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave it this size, and we'll cut it down to fit our greeting for our card. The next step is to create the blended background for the inside of our window frame. I am going to use Fresh Freesia, which coordinates with my card base, and Orchid Oasis. And then I also have 2 blending brushes. I have a purple blending brush and a dark blue. And I don't clean my blending brushes. I just leave them and pull the blending brush that coordinates the best with the ink color that I'm using. And then you can see that there's a little bit of color that does stick around that's inside my blending brushes, but I'm not too concerned about that. So I'm going to begin with my Fresh Freesia, and you're just going to pick up some ink off your ink pad and then tap it onto some scratch paper. And what this does is just remove any like really strong areas of ink so that when you come onto your card base, you're not going to have these really hard edges of ink, and you can just start blending that beautiful color into your window frame. Can you see that little bit of purple there? So if you want it darker, go ahead and pick up some more ink and just tap off any excess, and then you can start to add more. And don't worry about getting that color all the way to the edge of your window. It can sit more in the center. And I just kind of do this little triangle shape in the bottom left corner. So something like that. Then we'll move to the Orchid Oasis color. This is a very blue purpley color. So again, the same thing, tap in some ink into your blending brush and then tap off. And then you can gently begin to add that blue right above the purple. And that can fill in a little bit more of your window. Can you see that? It's very light. Let me get a little more ink and maybe make it a little darker. There we go. Let's see. There, I think that gives you the best visual. I love how the blending looks with when the gold is all shiny and reflecting the light. It's very pretty. So now that we've done our blending on our window, we're ready to start putting the card together. So I'm going to begin by adding some adhesive to the back of my window. This is a new roll. There we go. And that just goes right in the center of your card base. So you should have an even border on both the left and the right side. And let's go ahead and add the inside part as well. And that's the same. So I wanted to mimic the look from the outside to the inside. Then we are going to add our pot because I want to ground it and make sure that I place the leaves and stuff inside. So I've added some dimensionals and left this opening available so that I can tuck in my branches. And I'm placing it so it sits along the windowsill there. I also have the Coastal Cabana branch, and I have added some glue dots to the back, and I'm going to tuck that on the right side so that it kind of sits off to the right instead of the left. Then I have one of the larger branches that has the gold foiling, and I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals, and I wanted to show you how I'm going to cut my dimensionals so that they fit on these skinny little leaves. So along the edge, the outside edge of your dimensionals that come in the kit, I'm going to cut at both the hills and the valleys. So I get these nice skinny pieces of dimensionals. And I probably want 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can take those, separate them, and add them to your leaves. And I like to actually use the tip of my paper snips to hold onto them. And usually it works really well. There we go. You just want to make sure that they're directly behind those. So I'll use my tip of my paper snips to pull them off. I did not cut these as well as I usually do. So hold on to it, then you can take the paper off. And then you can place them. You could also do this with your Take a Pick tool, either one. Let's do this one here. And then if I've got a skinny one, I can place it there near the top. There we go. Okay, looks like we've got a little piece stuck here. There we go. And then once you've got those dimensionals on, you'll just slide that in, tuck it down inside your pot, and then add it to the left side. So you'll get something like this. For our greeting, I am going to take a scrap piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to use the Sending All Our Love greeting, but you could use any greeting that you want. And I'm going to ink it up in the polished pink ink that came in the kit. And I'm going to stamp it actually lining up the top instead of the bottom. And so the easiest way for me to do that is to flip it over and center it on my cardstock. But I'm lining up the top edge of that, but I turned it upside down. And the reason for that is because I feel like the love here is slightly slanted, so that when you flip it over, everything is nice and straight. So there's a little tip there for that one. Then we're going to trim this down. So if you're using a different greeting, then yours will be a different size. So I'm going to look for something that's about 7/8 of an inch, I think. So maybe something like this, and then trim the edges just a little bit. And it looks like it will probably sit at about 1.5 inches or slightly smaller. And that just depends on how you cut it around your greeting. So mine's about 7/8 of an inch by 1.5 inches, just slightly smaller than that. Then you can take your gold strip that we cut earlier, and we're going to add it with just a little bit of it showing at the bottom. And I'm going to do that with a little bit of liquid glue. And I want to add the glue to my greeting. So it's on this side here. Just a small strip of glue. I want maybe about 1/8 of an inch showing. So that's about half of that strip, because we cut a 1/4 of an inch strip. And then you can take it and trim it right at the edge of your greeting. So you'll end up with something that looks like this. And I love this little accent of gold at the bottom. Then on the bottom left corner of your greeting, so right here on this side, you're going to add a glue dot. And I have 10 inches of the gold twine. And I'm taking the center and adding it to that glue dot, and then just wrap back and forth to create a faux bow. If you need to layer another glue dot on top, you can do that too. I'm going to try to flip this one so then instead of going up my card, it will go down. There we go. So you'll get something that looks like this, and we're going to add it to our card with dimensionals. I'm going to place another glue dot right there to hold it onto my planter. That will just kind of help everything stay in place. and place a couple dimensionals on the opposite side. And you'll want it to go over your planter just slightly, and then make sure it's nice and straight to the window. So you'll get something that looks like this. Now for the inside, I did want to decorate it just a little bit, and so I've added a second little potted plant, and I wanted to use this fern. However, the fern felt a little bit big compared to the pot. This is the Orchid Oasis pot. So I decided to trim off the first or the bottom layer of branches or leaves. And so right at the top, let me show you. I'll do it on this side. So right at the top of that bottom layer, I'm just going to cut. And then I can add this to the back of my planter, just like that. I'm going to add another little glue dot there just to hold that in place. So working from the back, just add that right to the center. But I didn't want to waste my bottom layer. So what I did is I just folded it up a little bit on one side so that they're not quite straight, and added a little glue dot to the back of my planter. And then stuck this on in the back. Right about there. And you can play with the angles by just adjusting them. And it just creates a little fuller look at the bottom and just gives a nice unique look to your plant. You can't see that. There we go. I'll give you a close-up. I'm going to add it to my card. I did place glue dots already on the planter and a couple of the leaves, so that will hold on nicely to the inside of my card. And there's a little close-up of what it looks like. And your card is all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this fun variation to the March 2023 Paper Pumpkin Kit cards. If you're interested in getting written instructions or close-up images to see how to create these cards, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. If you would like to subscribe to get your own Paper Pumpkin Kit, please do so using the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.